Hey guys, this is Blue. So we are going to do something that I don't normally do very often, which is an arena run. I know I did a video on arenas, but I don't know if I've done any arena gameplay since the game came back. But we have the Spark Arena running, which is one of the couple arenas that's actually decent. It's not bad. You get a bunch of T3, 4, and 5 essence, and what I like about it is that it maxes out at the 350k point threshold, so hitting all the milestones is very easy. You can do it in 10 minutes or less, and you don't have to worry about going much beyond that because the rank rewards are all very similar. Getting 1 to 2%, you get basically the same rewards as 3 to 5% or 1 to 30, so you don't really have to worry about going for rank because it doesn't really matter. And it'll be helpful, to do this one if you do it every day for a week, especially because now that the story's over, we have nothing to replace all of that spark accumulation we were getting from the story, right? The rewards are really good. Now we're not getting sparks. And so this will help you to form a few sparks over the course of the week. And it's really easy. So we're just going to go for milestones here. I'm not trying to maximize points, which means that I can use my mid-rank and high-rank 5-star bots only. Doesn't really matter. So we're just going to jump in here, and since these are arenas and they're easy, I can talk while I do this because it doesn't really matter if you get hit, things like that. So we're just going to do a little bit of a speed run here up to the final milestone, and then we'll call it a day. So I've been doing the Spark Arena usually when it comes, and I also do the Sig Arena. The Sig Arena also has that 350k point threshold. I do keep going on the Sig Arena. I usually go for 1,000,000+ points because I like to get the 4-star awakening programs from rank. I think that's probably the best reward really in all of the arenas are those 4-star awakening programs because they're really good for forging, particularly for sharks, right? So if you're still forging up bots, you have more bots you want to forge, right? You save up some of those 4-star awakenings during that arena, and then when you get those 4-star sharks, you can awaken them without having to dupe them or spend a ton of energon for a 4-star awakening program. So these are the main two that I do. Overlord's Favor is a complete joke. It's trash. Never do it. And the Resource Bounty one, it was okay when it came out. They nerfed it though, right? I mean, you were getting couple hundred energon a day or something, and now you're only getting 40 energon a day from all the milestones. So that one's kind of annoying now because you have to hit 1.5 million points to get all the milestones, and so that's kind of time consuming. So I might do that one every now and then if I have time, but otherwise I just skip it. Arenas are interesting. I mean, some people really like them. I mean, I get it. They're kind of mindless and repetitive, and some people like that. Other people hate them. I have never been a fan though, just because they're just really easy, and they are just so repetitive, and they can be super time-consuming, especially if you're trying to, go for rank. But doing an arena like this, totally fine with, because it's easy, it's fast, get some decent rewards for 10 minutes of work, and you're good to go. And so, I guess it's been, 6+ weeks now since the story ended. We haven't seen any content, which, I think a lot of us expected. I'm very glad the game is still here though. I really am. And I don't think they will shut it down soon. I mean, I think that Netflix is clearly going for a quantity over quality approach. They've got plenty of money to run games like this without much, maintenance. Now, obviously, mobile games are not like movies and TV shows. They need to be updated for people to stay engaged. But, I think it's just going to be like this for a while. That's my assumption. And I have spoken to a few friends who have played some of the other Netflix games, and it seems like they are updating their other games, but it's rare, right? So I think with TFTF, if you're going to keep playing, we're basically just in a different phase of the game now, meaning that what I've heard from a few other people is that there very well may be more content for TFTF, but it will come very slowly, meaning it could be months away, right? So we might only be getting a few updates a year, at this point, so it's definitely not going to be, updates every 2 weeks, new content every couple weeks, new characters. I highly doubt that's going to happen. So if you're going to keep playing the game, then you just have to adjust to that. And like I've said a few times, you can First of all, not playing much during the week, between Tuesday and Friday when AMs aren't running. Just play very little. Maybe just log in. If you do that, that can actually keep things interesting, because then by the time Friday rolls around for AMs, the game feels a little bit fresh again. You might be excited to play. I have found that to be quite helpful. And I've also said, try different bots out in AMs when you can, even if it's just one different bot, that can make a difference. I've done that a handful of times over the last few months, and that's actually made AMs more fun. And also, just try to use some bots that you've never used before. I know it's harder now because we're not getting sparks every couple weeks from the story, and it can be annoying to spend a lot of energy on sparks, and that's a shame. But if you do have some resources available, rank up a bot you've never used before, do things like that. And also just adjust your expectations. Like, don't expect anything to come, and then you won't worry about it, because we all have only really 3 options at this point. You can keep playing seriously, which has its limitations because AMs are the only, quote unquote, serious thing going on. You can complain about it, which isn't going to do anything, or you can quit. You can retire or take a break. And that's totally valid too. I'm doing a combination of that. I still play blue pretty seriously. I do AMs, etc. But with my other accounts, I moved them over to a retirement team with a couple friends of mine, just doing some high-level AMs for fun with no obligations. And that's actually been enjoyable because there's no pressure. If I have time to fight, I will. If I don't have time to fight, I don't. So I think a lot of people are just kind of in that phase now. We've had a ton of retirements over the last couple months. There will be more. The good news is, though, there are still people finding the game. I've heard from people from the Kabam days who came back over the last couple of months, and there are still new people who've never played the game before. That's good news. The question, though, is how long do they keep it up, right? Because for the game now, in the state that it's in, there's enough content to keep you occupied for, I would say, 3 to 6 months, depending on how much you're playing. And that's good. But the question is what happens then, and the attrition rate, right? The rate of players who quit after they get bored, I'm sure is quite high. A lot of players just aren't going to stick with it, even if they really like the game, if there's no new content, So basically, I'm just going to keep going. Like a lot of us, I have a Netflix account. I'm going to have one anyway, so I'll keep going, play with blue. If I get sick of it, I'll take a break. If not, then good. There's nothing else you can do. So, at this point, now that it's been almost a couple months or so since the story ended, my view is just don't expect anything and have fun when you can. So, I don't really like arenas, but I'm enjoying this right now because this is easy and fast. So that's the deal. That's the entire approach that I've been taking. So let me know what you guys are doing. Are you still playing often? Are you still forging up bots? Forging has been one of the most interesting and enjoyable things in this new version of the game, given how easy it is compared to how it used to be. At this point, I've forged up a lot of bots, though. But I'll still forge up a few more just for fun, even if I don't really get to use them much, which I won't, but it doesn't matter. So let me know what you guys are up to. Are you forging anybody else? Are you still ranking up bots? Do you still have some of the story to complete? That's another thing that you can do that I didn't do, is you can just take your time more with the story, so that you have more content to do over time. That can kind of help elongate the amount of content that you have in the game. But we're making pretty good progress here on this arena. We've only got, probably 3 more rounds to hit the 350K point mark. So we'll just do this and we'll be done. And it's going to take a total of probably 10 minutes to hit all the milestones. So that's the deal, guys. It's unfortunate that it is the way that it is, but it's not at all surprising, and I am just very grateful that we got the game back at all. So, the game's not dead. It's in a dying kind of state. It's not going to improve much without more content, but it's still here. And at the end of the day, most of us love the game for the combat. It's definitely one of the best fighting games out there, period. as well as the camaraderie, So if your friends are still playing, and a lot of my friends are still playing, that makes the game worthwhile as far as I'm concerned, And so, this is just where we're at, So we'll just have to see how things go. I mean, there have been a lot of retirements over the last few months, especially since the story ended. There will be more. A lot of alliances have kind of fallen apart or just become retirement teams. At this point, there are fewer than 10 teams that are really kind of playing competitively and going for it and trying to, rank highly and everything. Because it's like, well, what's the point, So since AMs are the most important part of the game, anything that teams can do to stick together without losing too many people is going to be a good thing. And so that's that, but we're almost done with this here, which is good, get some decent essence from, T3, T4, and T5 in this arena. And like I said, I'm not using my maximize points sort of strategy here because I only care about the milestones. When I am trying to maximize points, then I'll just start with all my rank 1 5-stars. I've got a ton of 5-star bots, and then if I do that, if I start with my rank 1 bots, I actually have enough bots now ranked up and otherwise to get to 1.5 million points with a single round of arenas, which is good. And so I always do that. And then once I get to this win streak, once I get to 4x or, 4, the 2.5x multiplier, I start to do this where I'll do 2 ranked up bots plus a 4-star or a 3-star. And that's not to make it easier. It is to maximize the amount of points that I can get because I want to be fighting against ranked up 5-stars, right? If you use 3 ranked up bots as your team between the 4 win streak and the 9 win streak, you're going to get those Optimus, Megatron teams that are way easier, but you're going to get a lot fewer points. So I just kind of reflexively default to this style because this way I do 2 fights instead of 3, but I'm getting a lot more points for each fight. So that's the way to go to maximize the amount of points that you can get so that you're not getting those, Optimus, Megatron type teams with low rank bots. And so, when you have ranked up, forged up 5-star bots, you can be getting 50,000+ points per fight when you are fighting against ranked up bots. And so, it just helps things to go more smoothly, especially if you're trying to either get high rank or, just get a lot of points, right? If you're trying to get to 1 million points or more, anything that you can do to kind of speed it up a little bit and kind of maximize the efficiency of the points that you're getting is going to be a good thing. So even though I don't need to be doing this right now because I'm only going for milestones, it's just what I always do. Because I want to avoid those Optimus and Megatron type teams with the low rank bots. So anyway, so after this fight, after we take Prowl down, we'll be almost there. I think we'll just need to do 1 more round, and then we'll be above 350k points, and we'll be good to go. So, all right, so we'll say goodbye to Prowl right now. He is down, and so, yeah, that puts us at 315k. 1 more round, we are done. So we will go ahead and do the Optimus team, the Maximus team with OGP. Let's do Prowl, and then like I said, I'm going to do a low rank bot. Let's do the 3-star OGP because this also gives you that extra bar of power, which it really shouldn't do, and it also helps to maximize points. And this is a good team to fight against because we're fighting against a Maximus team. That's something else that you can do. Fighting against Maximus teams is also going to give you more points per match, no matter who you're using, because their stats and everything are jacked up. The points are also going to be jacked up. So this fight with Prowl against Mirage is going to be more than 60k points for sure. So 2 fights is going to be over 120,000 points. That's a lot. So I'll do OGP, Prowl, and 3 or 4-star OGP, and then I'll do Sunny, Ironhide, and 2-star OGP or whatever. You do those 2 rounds, you're going to get a lot of points. So this will be it. Yeah, we'll finish off Prowl here, and then Yeah, this fight will probably be like 65,000 points, something like that. Okay, he's almost down. Very good, and he's down. Okay, so this is, yeah, that's like, yeah, I mean, that's almost 70,000 points for a fight. And just like that, we have hit all of the milestones. We're done for the day. Like I said, we don't have to worry about rank because all the rewards are pretty much the same. And that took what, like 10 minutes? And we're done. So that's the deal, guys. I hope you're well. Let me know what you're up to. Let me know if you're forging anybody up, ranking anybody up. You know, if you have sparks, by the way, ranking up a bot that you've never used before is also a nice thing to do to kind of give yourself something to do, to learn a new bot. That can be fun. If you've been doing lower level AMs and you want to challenge, go higher. Because believe me, all of the teams that are high level or even mid to high level are looking for players. So if you're a free agent, you're going to be a hot commodity right now. You know, so if you're doing AMs in the 60s, try them out in the 70s. Why not? Who cares? You know? So you just got to find things to do to keep yourself engaged. And there are still things you can do, even though it is definitely boring. You know, some days I log on and I feel sick of it, but other days I log on and I still have a lot of fun. So that's all you can do, guys. So I hope all of you are well. I will leave it there for now. Do let me know if you have any questions, and we'll speak soon. Take care.